oder später kriegen wir euch mit Danone-Joghurt.
Don't worry, let me explain. You know I like obscure DOS games, and for this one I'm pretty sure you have never heard of it before. And I had never heard of it before. That was until 2 days ago, when I browsed through an old issue of PC Player that a friend of me got me just on the weekend. And there I found this ad for German advertising games, and as you might know, I've already done a video about German advertisement games, but I did not know about this one. So I was instantly intrigued because it looks quite nice on the screenshot, and I could find almost no information on it on the internet, and even Moby Games doesn't seem to recognize it. Which probably is no wonder, because instead of being a free ad game like the others, you had to pay 50 Deutschmark for it, which is roughly around $26 in today's money, or if you account for inflation, it's around $51 today. So let's find out if this platformer game from '96 was worth its money. Das Geheimnis von Foodi, or The Secret of Foodi, was developed for the Danone Institute for Nutrition and teaches you about healthy eating. There's no English translation for the game, but well, it's a platformer, so you will probably be fine without being able to read all the text. The main difference between this game and any other run-of-the-mill platformer is its nutrition mechanics. You have a bar for carbohydrates and a bar for fat, and depending on which food you pick up in the game, you will refill these bars accordingly. Interestingly, back in the 90s, people thought that carbohydrates were something good and fat was something bad, so you will always try to increase your carbs in the game and reduce your fat intake. If you completely run out of carbs, your character actually dies, or faints probably because it's a child. And if you consume too much fat, then he will become obese and will be sluggish, slower, and can't jump as high. And if you max out the fat bar, you will be actually teleported to the last checkpoint and forced to do some jump rope until you have lowered the fat bar enough. But just running and jumping around will also decrease both bars over time. As you can imagine, this mechanic is not very fun, and oftentimes it's even unavoidable to pick up some fatty foods, but you'll sure learn something in the process. No, in all honesty, it's not that bad, it's not a big offender, and there's actually quite some context for kids to learn about nutrition, even though they might be outdated by today's understanding. The only review I was able to find about the game online was from PC Joker, and it was quite favorable, but they also mentioned that the game is very hard, which I can definitely confirm. Even getting to the second or third level is quite a challenge, and I can't wrap my head around why a game made predominantly for children has such a high difficulty. What does make things a lot easier is that you can actually save the game whenever you want, but you only get a single save slot to do so. Still, this helps a lot because you can do one run where you learn about the level and then go back to the main menu, reload, and then do your actual run without losing as many lives. The weapon at your disposal changes from level to level and varies greatly in its usefulness. Throwing lemons in the first level, for example, has this weird arc where it's really hard to hit anything. And it's not helped by the fact that you have limited ammo, though you can refill that quite easily on several occasions in a level, but it takes some time and is rather annoying. The jumping mechanic is, well, I would say alright. I mean, it's not like MS-DOS drowned in good platformers, but it's a bit sluggish and you often have to sprint to reach a platform, so you constantly have to press 2 buttons and time your jumps just right. On the positive side, at least on the first few levels, there aren't many bottomless pits and you don't take any fall damage. There are boss fights between each level, which are kind of fun, at least after you figured out what you have to do. And there's this little multiple choice puzzle where you have to say which food items go to the food pyramid of this specific level, earning you an extra life. Which leaves us with the presentation of the game. I think it looks quite alright. but if you consider that Rayman, for example, was released in '95, it definitely cannot keep up with that level of detail. Unfortunately, the sound effects in the game are very weak in my opinion. They are sparse and repetitive and don't really create an ambience. Similarly, the music is nothing to write home about and also a bit repetitive in my opinion, but it's alright, I would say. But is the game worth $50? Well, not if you ask me. If it had been a freebie like all the other Get games, I would highly recommend it for that. I could see my younger self enjoying this for quite a while, no problem. But if I had spent all of my pocket money on this, I would have been massively disappointed. But do you know what is completely free? Subscribing to my channel and liking the video, or have a look at all the other DOS gaming and retro gaming videos on my channel. If you want to play every DOS game or every platformer game that is out there, then go give it a try, but you're not missing out if you skip this one. And with that, see ya!